Right now, somewhere on a farm, a chicken is sitting on an egg. Nothing unusual about that, except that egg isn't hers. It never was. She doesn't know it. She doesn't care. For the next 21 days, she'll sit almost motionless, barely eating, barely moving, protecting something that shares absolutely none of her DNA. And here's the question scientists have been quietly obsessed with for decades. To understand what's happening inside that chicken's brain, we need to start with something much deeper than intelligence, much deeper than emotion. We need to talk about instinct, because most of us have spent our entire lives walking past chickens without ever really seeing them. And what you're missing is extraordinary. The domestic chicken, Gallus domesticus, is one of the most successful animals in the history of life on Earth. Right now, there are more than 33 billion chickens alive. That's roughly 4 chickens for every human being. They've lived alongside us for at least 8,000 years, longer than most civilizations have existed, and during all that time, they evolved a maternal instinct so powerful that something as trivial as whose egg it is simply doesn't matter. At some point, something changes inside the hen. Farmers call it being broody. Scientists call it something much more interesting: hormones. When a hen is ready to become a mother, her body becomes flooded with a hormone called prolactin. And here's the fascinating part. Humans have prolactin too. It's one of the hormones responsible for maternal bonding in mammals, including us. But prolactin doesn't care about genetics. It doesn't ask questions. It doesn't run DNA tests. It doesn't stop and wonder, wait, is this actually mine? It simply flips a switch, and suddenly, the hen's entire universe shrinks down to one singular mission: protect the nest, warm the eggs, stay, nothing else matters. And here's where things become almost hilariously absurd, because chickens will brood almost anything. Scientists and farmers have documented hens sitting faithfully on golf balls, smooth rocks, pieces of wood, doorknobs, and in one remarkable case, a potato. That's right, a potato. For 3 entire weeks, she sat on it, completely committed, no questions asked, no second thoughts, just pure dedication, which tells us something incredibly important. The hen isn't evaluating what's inside. She's responding to something much simpler: shape, warmth, presence. The trigger is physical, not logical. Once the brooding response activates, the brain essentially locks in. Instinct takes over. She's not asking, is this mine? She's asking, is it round? Is it warm? Is it here? And if the answer is yes, she will mother it unconditionally. What happens next is even more remarkable. Every 45 to 90 minutes, the hen carefully rotates her eggs, slowly, methodically, again and again. Why? Because without rotation, the developing embryo can stick to the shell membrane and die. The amazing thing is, she has no idea why she's doing this. Nobody taught her. She wasn't trained. She simply knows, or rather, her instincts know. Duck egg, she rotates it. Turkey egg, she rotates it. Quail egg, she rotates it. Golf ball, she rotates it too. This isn't stupidity, it's ancient programming, refined over millions of years. But here's where the story becomes truly beautiful. Eventually, the egg hatches, and something extraordinary happens. The hen immediately accepts the newborn. She doesn't reject it, she doesn't panic, she doesn't inspect it. Instead, she begins softly clucking, the exact same gentle sound she'd make for her own chicks, and the baby responds. It crawls beneath her feathers. She spreads her wings around it, keeps it warm, keeps it safe. Adoption complete, no paperwork required. Of course, reality has a wonderful sense of humor, because imagine what happens when the baby turns out to be a duck, raised by a chicken, convinced it's a chicken, loved by a chicken, and one day it sees water. Without hesitation, the duckling jumps in, and suddenly, mom loses her mind. She runs along the shore, clucking frantically, pacing back and forth, calling desperately, because from her perspective, her baby is drowning. Meanwhile, the duckling is having the time of its life, perfectly happy, perfectly safe, and the poor hen is experiencing an existential crisis. But beneath the comedy, something profound is happening. This animal, this 8,000-year companion of humanity, this tiny feathered creature with a brain smaller than a walnut, is demonstrating something we rarely expect from animals like her: care. That transcends biology. because she doesn't love that chick because they share genes. She loves it because she sat in the darkness for 21 days, because she kept it warm, because she turned it every hour, because she sacrificed food, sleep, and comfort. While the world moved on around her, the bond wasn't written in DNA. It was built in the nest. Science has a name for this behavior: indiscriminate brooding. But maybe that's the wrong name. Maybe the chicken isn't being indiscriminate at all. Maybe somewhere inside that warm, ancient, hormone-driven brain, a decision has already been made. And the decision is simple. If something needs protection, protect it. No questions asked, no conditions, no DNA required. Because sometimes the most remarkable acts of care in nature are the ones that make absolutely no logical sense and happen anyway.